Welcome to Eerie, Britain, your gateway to the haunted heart of the United Kingdom. From eerie whispers in forgotten villages to spine-chilling tales of ancient cities, we uncover the ghostly secrets lurking in every corner of the UK. But this channel isn't just about our stories, it's about yours too. Have you experienced something unexplained? A haunting that sent shivers down your spine? Share your ghostly encounters with us and we might feature them in an upcoming video. Join our growing community of paranormal explorers. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale of restless spirits, haunted mansions or spine-tingling mysteries. Your voice matters. Comment or share your story. Let's uncover the truth behind the shadows together. So light a candle, gather your courage and become part of the story. Because the ghosts are waiting and their stories must be told.
The wind howled like a banshee. It was a night of shadows, a night for fear. 4 friends, Liam, Emily, Jake and Chloe, stood before the imposing gates of St. Crispin's Asylum. St. Crispin's was a relic of the Victorian era, a monument to madness and misery. Now, swallowed by the encroaching darkness, it promised a night of chilling exploration. Liam, ever the daredevil, grinned, his breath misting in the frigid air. The heavy iron gates groaned open as if inviting them into the jaws of the unknown. Excitement mingled with trepidation as they stepped onto the grounds. The asylum loomed ahead, a gothic silhouette against the bruised sky. Its windows, like vacant eyes, stared back at them, cold and lifeless. A shiver ran down Emily's spine. The air grew heavy, laden with a palpable sense of dread. They were treading on hallowed ground, a place where sanity had once shattered and echoed through the years. Fallen leaves crunched underfoot as they approached the main entrance. The once grand oak doors hung precariously from their hinges, victims of time and neglect. As they crossed the threshold, the air inside hit them like a wall. It was stale and cold, heavy with the scent of decay and something indefinable, something vaguely metallic. Jake coughed, his breath catching in his throat. The temperature plummeted, a stark contrast to the autumn chill outside. The main hall stretched before them, a cavernous space lost to shadows. Dust motes danced in the weak beams of their torches, illuminating faded grandeur and creeping decay. A grand staircase, now creaking and rotten, dominated the far end of the hall. The remnants of an ornate chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, casting fractured shadows that danced with their every move. They could almost hear the echoes of forgotten screams, the whispers of tormented souls. The silence of the asylum was unnerving. It wasn't an empty silence, but one pregnant with unseen things, unheard sounds. Chloe swore she could hear whispers slithering around the edges of their small circle of light. Each creak of the floorboards, each sigh of the wind through the broken windows sent shivers down their spines. They pressed on, their footsteps echoing in the stillness, their voices unnaturally loud in the oppressive quiet. They ventured deeper, their torches cutting through the gloom. A sign barely clinging to a door read, "Dining Hall." The door creaked open on rusty hinges, revealing a vast room with long empty tables and overturned chairs. A shiver ran down Emily's spine. The air grew colder, thick with the spectral residue of countless meals never eaten, conversations never finished. The dining hall was a bleak tableau. Long stained tables stretched out like the ribs of some decaying beast. Dust lay thick upon them, disturbed only by the skeletal remains of long-dead insects. The air hung heavy and sour, a testament to years of neglect and decay. Chloe shivered, pulling her jacket tighter around herself. She could almost smell the rancid odor of rotting food, hear the clatter of cutlery and the murmur of voices long silenced. Jake pointed his torch towards a dark stain on the floor beneath a shattered window. It was a large, irregular shape, almost black. "What do you think that is?" he asked, his voice hushed. Liam knelt down, examining the stain. He ran his fingers over the rough surface. It's almost like dried blood, he breathed, his face pale in the flickering light. The stain seemed to pulsate in the torchlight, a dark and malevolent presence in the decaying room. Drawn by an unspoken dare, they climbed the crumbling staircase to the asylum's clock tower. With each step, the air grew colder, the darkness more profound. The steps groaned in protest, their rusted iron railings offering little reassurance. The oppressive atmosphere pressed down on them, amplifying every creak and groan of the ancient structure. Jake, usually the joker of the group, fell silent, his eyes darting nervously around the dimly lit stairwell. The clock tower was a symphony of decay. Dust-covered gears and rusted mechanisms lay scattered across the floor, remnants of a time long past. The clock face itself was frozen at midnight, its hands locked in a perpetual dance of halted time. Suddenly a loud clang echoed through the tower. Chloe gasped, spinning around to face the source of the noise. It was the pendulum, swinging erratically despite the stillness of the air. The air grew thick with the stench of mildew and something altogether more sinister as they descended the steps into the basement. The steps were slick with moisture, and the darkness seemed to cling to them like a shroud. The beam of their torches cut through the gloom, revealing a subterranean world of damp concrete and rusted iron. "This place, it feels like a tomb." "I can barely breathe down here. It's so heavy." The air was oppressive, heavy with the weight of untold suffering. They found restraints bolted to the damp stone walls, leather straps cracked and worn thin. A rusty tray lay on the floor, its surface stained with something that looked disturbingly like blood. This is where they kept them, the patients. It's horrifying. Look at the walls, they almost seem to move. The air crackled with a palpable sense of dread, as if the very walls were imbued with the terror and despair of the souls who had been imprisoned there. The shadows themselves seemed to writhe and twist, taking on grotesque shapes that danced at the edge of their vision. A cold wind swept through the basement, extinguishing their torches and plunging them into absolute darkness. Panic flared, hot and immediate. "Chloe, where are you?" "Everyone stay calm, we'll find a way out." Chloe screamed, her voice echoing off the damp stone walls. A moment later, a spectral light filled the room, emanating from no discernible source. In the center of the room, a group of figures began to solidify, their forms flickering like candle flames in a breeze. Oh my God, look at them, the ghosts. They were the ghosts of past patients, their eyes hollow, their expressions twisted in eternal anguish. A woman in a ragged straitjacket reached out, her spectral fingers brushing against Liam's cheek, leaving a trail of ice. "Liam, watch out!" he cried out, falling back against the damp wall, his heart pounding against his ribs. The ghosts were closing in, their forms becoming more solid, their presence overwhelming. Panic seized them, turning they ran blindly through the darkness, their hearts hammering in their chests. The screams of the asylum's ghostly residents echoed behind them, urging them onward. "Keep moving! Don't look back!" They scrambled up the stairs, their breath catching in their throats, their lungs burning with exertion. The shadows seemed to reach out, their spectral fingers brushing against their skin. But they didn't dare slow down, not even for a moment. "Oh, I can't keep up." "You have to, Amy, we're almost there." Stumbling and gasping for breath, they burst out of the asylum and into the night. The cool night air filled their lungs, the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves a welcome relief from the oppressive atmosphere within. They didn't stop running until they reached the rusted gates, the asylum looming behind them like a malevolent entity. "We made it. We actually made it." Collapsing onto the cold ground, they gasped for breath, their bodies trembling with terror and exhaustion. As dawn broke, casting a pale light over the asylum, they looked back at the imposing structure. It seemed smaller in the daylight, less menacing, but no less sinister. It looks almost normal now, but we know the truth." They knew that What they had experienced was not just a figment of their imaginations. St. Crispin's held on to its secrets tightly, whispering them into the darkness, etching them onto the very fabric of its being. The asylum stood as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lie hidden beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary places. We'll never forget what happened here, the horrors, the despair. The horrors they had witnessed, the palpable despair that clung to the asylum's every brick and stone would forever be etched into their memories. They had been touched by the shadows of St. Crispin's, and they knew that some stains, some horrors never truly fade away. We'll carry this with us always, the weight of what we saw. They carried the weight of the asylum's tragic history within them. A chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks within the human heart and the echoes of suffering that can resonate through time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't have nightmares.